As the special election approaches for State Senate District 19, WIS-TV wants to help voters get to know the candidates and drill down on some of the most relevant issues. We've invited all of the candidates to join us for a one-on-one interview. Joining us today is Tameika Devine. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, let's jump right into it. So listing your qualifications, explain to voters why you are the best candidate for this seat.
Well, clearly we've got some great candidates in this race, but I'm the one with a proven record of experience. I have served as a city council person. I've been a community advocate. I'm very well versed on the issues and know how to get things done. You know, all of the candidates have run for several offices several times, but I'm the only one who's actually been elected and served.
All righty. If elected, what would be your #1 legislative priority?
There are a lot of very important legislative priorities, but the two things that are really coming up first and foremost are the constitutional carry, and we've got to be able to address that in January, and then making sure that we get hate crime legislation actually on the floor to vote on.
There is plenty of opportunity for development in District 19. We've seen a portion of that being capitalized by investors in Blythewood. How would you balance the opportunity for growth with the concerns of citizens who are against it?
Well, you got to make sure that #1, the citizens are aware of growth, but that you're being proactive. You know, as someone who has the experience of actually serving, I know how to plan for development and make sure that you are investing in infrastructure before you need it and not being reactionary. So I think we've got to make sure that we have not only the incentives for economic development, but then as it comes, that we understand what comes with that. And we need to be able to address our housing needs, the demands on our infrastructure, and the demands on our schools. And all those are things that I'm experienced with, and I'm looking forward to actually being an advocate for as a senator for District 19.
Let's talk about gun violence. It is the top issue amongst voters. If elected, what actionable steps would you take to help combat the issue in District 19?
Well, as a former city council person, I actually worked to not just address gun violence with programs for our youth, but also looking at proactive ways. I was part of council when we enacted our gun violence bans. Unfortunately, they have been repealed, but as the state senator, we're going to be looking at having sensible gun laws that actually don't take people's rights away from guns, but make sure that guns that don't need to be in people's hands aren't. And that starts with making sure that we combat constitutional carry.
The late Senator John Scott was a huge advocate for education. What is your approach to helping underperforming schools in the district?
Well, for me, as a mom with kids in K through 12 here in public school in South Carolina, I understand that I see the needs every single day. As state senator, is going to be able to work with our local school districts, make sure that they have the tools necessary, making sure that we're supporting our teachers, and then also making sure that we are expanding investment in our students and pupils and hold our districts and our communities accountable for what we're teaching our kids.
You now have 1 minute to tell viewers your final pitch as to why they should vote for you as the next senator of District 19.
You know, we're at a critical time in our state, and I am the only candidate that has the proven experience to actually get things done from this community. I have worked in this community not only as an elected official, but as a community advocate. I've continued to work in this community, and as the next state senator, I'll take my experience and my passion and make sure that we're having good legislation and that we're also keeping the community engaged and growing.
Tameika Devine, thank you so much for joining us. And as a reminder, early voting for District 19 special election runs through Friday, December 29th. The general election will then follow on Tuesday, January 2nd. The polls will open at 7 a.m. and will remain open until 7 p.m. To find your precinct and to watch the full one-on-one candidate interviews, you can head online to WISTV.com.